You have to understand what the communists do is urinate on everything.
In this world, accessible of kindness and ethical blindness. So please excuse my sarcastic tone. I'm a bit underwhelmed by the sample shown. Mr. Piss-drunk fraternity guy, you got my ass full of bloodshot eyes. Get drunk and fight every night. Idolize Bradley, belittle women's rights. Homophobic, racist, and don't give a fucking hey. Do you think you can drive a bigger truck? So wear your baseball cap to decide to let everyone know that you're a nice guy. So cool, was so impressed. Lots of chicks and a barrel chest. Cause you're a real man. Punch for punch, gonna piss in your face while you're passed out drunk. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. She's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planets. Well, I just can't understand it. Conquered divine by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics, cause everybody gets their just desserts. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first. You're next on the list. Such a nice guy who speaks through his fists. Prick with a penchant for messing with heads. A broken nose for dinner and breakfast in bed. Alcoholic, paranoid, and suicidal too. But you'll probably kill her before she gets away from you. She lives in a pool of blood and cry. All your friends say that you're a nice guy. Have a drink, this one's on me. Look, you're doing fine, losing to your disease. Comatose, I'll pack your bags. Bury you like cats, ready to go. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. We're all nice guys, but all of you are assholes. He's a nice guy, she's a nice guy. Hey, Tom Bone's a nice guy. All of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planet. The polygammatic, put a body by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics. Don't let the bloody spill quench your thirst. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first.
Everybody, welcome to the Plex. We do the show live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific right here on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Echoplex Media. Support this project. Just go to the website, echoplexmedia.com, click the link at the top, pick your favorite way to support the channel, and pretty soon you'll be able to have a new way to support the channel because we're launching a streetwear brand. We'll talk a little bit about that during Red Light for the people who are here and live and the patrons. Anyway, I'm producer Dave. You can find me tradwifing it up, baking my own bread now, or on Blue Sky at Plex-Dave.
Hi, everybody. What's up, bitches and witches? I'm the Media Wench. You can find me on Blue Sky at the Media Wench. You can find me here on Echoplex Media, streaming all things Shasta County fuckery. I really don't have that long of a fucking thing anymore. So Dave, give the people what they want.
I don't hate the cops. There's a person inside when the truncheon stops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Oh, when the raiders come, who will protect the shops? Don't hate the cops. They're a sensitive bunch if you don't stop throwing your rocks. Snap, crackle, pop is the sound of a taser. Your body drops. Don't hate the cops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Like your local police, cause they don't do nothing wrong like your local police. Got rid of the corruption and the racism is gone. They've been keeping the peace, keeping homeless folks out of the parks and malls. Got a cure for your social disease. Follow the law, don't hate the cops. 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 Put your hands above your head and show you're not afraid. I'm the fearless judge that your skin color's gonna get. And if you die before the sun comes up, the paperwork will take forever. Well, it might have worked out a little bit better if you didn't hate the cops. Cause they don't do nothing wrong. Don't hate the cops. You can't blame them for just doing their job. Don't hate the cops. Well, you gotta wonder how much would it cost for you to be shot at and stabbed at by maniacs and drunks. Don't hate the cops. 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 Don't hate the cops.
This docket was
Yeah.
once 7 pages.
It's been a long month. This week.
It's the 11th.
I know. I said what I said. I
Oh,
am
anyway.
stutter.
Oh, God. If we don't want to be here till like fucking next Sunday, we should probably fucking get to it.
We're gonna be here till next Sunday.
So we decided to start with this because this guy right here, just super enthused about everything going on right now. Check this guy out.
What's going on, Wolfpack? Did we see that Venezuela was liberated today? Let's go! Okay? God is moving for the people of Venezuela, and God is moving for you.
Ow.
Now. Let's get to the gym, let's get strong together, and let's be so thankful for the gift of life. Lost is won, we rise, unified. What an awesome time to be alive, guys. Let's go.
He's like, let's get to the gym, everybody. We got to get swole for the fucking fascist takeover.
Christ is hella swole, bro. This looks maxing fucking chud stomp whatever the fuck is like, it's gotta die. It just has to go away. It's so bad and it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where to put that, so I just was like, fuck it, let's put it first.
So embarrassing.
All right, well,
You guys are embarrassing.
so I don't know if you know this, but I think the opposition leader in Venezuela is meeting with Trump, and Trump's like, maybe she'll give me the fucking Nobel Peace Prize she got.
That she wants to give the Nobel Prize, her Nobel Peace Prize, to you for liberating her country. In 2023, she won over 92% of the vote to be the leader of the opposition. Maduro kept her off the ballot. Do you have any plans to meet with her? And would you accept the Nobel Prize she wants to hand to you?
Well, I understand she's coming in next week sometime. And I look forward to saying hello to her. And I've heard that she wants to do that. That would be a great honor. I did put out 8 wars.
He put out? You like created 8 wars within your own country, or you like put out for 8 wars, or I mean, there's context.
Eight
with
Wars
everything.
isn't quite an album. It's like an EP, right?
Yeah, you gotta have at least 10 wars for an EP. But also that's kind of like the thing where it's like nobody really said any of this. This is just something that he's making up in his own like piss puddle mind. And he's like, you know, if I say this, and it's like, it would be really, really nice if somebody got me this XYZ thing, you know, it'd be really, really nice if somebody would do that, because he thinks he's some kind of fucking mobster, and that's how mobsters talk. They don't ever give a direct action because they need plausible deniability. But he's just like a fucking psychotic old man who thinks he's living in a movie or something, and it's also embarrassing.
Also, not for nothing, you can't actually just give somebody else the Nobel Peace Prize. It's not like a bowling trophy.
No. And I bet like it like 3/4 of his like stupid chud audience is like, oh, we're participation trophies for everybody, and everybody thinks they're a winner. Blah, blah, blah. And like he like just wants all of the participation trophies. He has people like make up participation trophies and then give them to him like there's some kind of peace prize. It's ridiculous. It's so funny.
Like, all you got to do is bring this guy some kind of thing that's made out of gold and or crystal, and then tell him Ivanka's an 11. And that's what I think fucking Zoran did. Zoran was like, listen, I can't say this publicly, but your daughter, an 11. And that's why he's like, what a great guy Zoran is.
Like, you could go to Universal Studios and get like the Raiders of the Lost Ark thing, the medallion where they find the temple, just like take that and then put it on a little platform and just have a little plaque that says best president ever, and just give it to him, and he would probably like give you a real get out of jail free card for something.
So up next, here's another more of the president ostensibly talking about Venezuela, but this shit just doesn't make any fucking sense. Check this out.
Thank you so much. I have a question for you on Minneapolis, but on Venezuela and your meeting with Machado next week. If she gives you her Nobel Peace Prize, will that change your view about her running that country?
Well, I have to speak to her. I mean, I'm going to have to speak to her. She might be involved in some aspect of it. I will have to speak to her. I think it's very nice that she wants to come in, and that's what I understand the reason is, because Norway...
It's not, though.
Very embarrassed.
I can't. It's not
what took place. I mean, they're getting decimated. Look, whether
what is Norway? He forgot that he's not talking about Greenland right now.
What? He probably thinks they're the same place. You don't want to fuck with the Vikings, dude. Just don't. Don't do it.
Don't like Trump. I settled 8 wars, big wars.
In your own mind?
Yeah, those wars are still happening. I forget which one that he settled, and then like after he announced that it was settled, like the next day there was just like a flood of shit on Twitter of people showing like fighting in the street, right? Like,
well, and the one that was like between 2 countries that were like way on the opposite sides of the continent and had like 19 countries in between them, that wasn't even a thing.
They were arguing though.
They were arguing on Twitter, probably.
Here's more of that interview with fucking Hannity. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I think I'm supposed to do it this way. Yeah, there's more of this fucking interview from Hannity. It's wild. It's like we got the oil.
Oh, God, the oil.
And Obama should have done it. They all should have done it. Clinton should have done it. Obama went the other way. I mean, Obama decided to go with Iran. I mean, I don't know how Jewish people can vote for Biden and Obama. They were absolutely on the side of Iran. They were against
Or
Jewish
Mamdani.
people. Well, we're going to find out.
Your favorite mayor.
Oh, look at Trump's like he called Ivanka an 11. I don't know about this. I don't know.
Well, I have a very nice relationship, but I thought it would take at least maybe a month or 2 months before he went after me. He hit me on the attack on Venezuela.
You told him it was okay for him to call you a fascist in front of like 92 reporters.
That was a perfect attack. Think of what we've done. I mean, we've taken over a whole country. We're going to make the country strong and good, and we're going to...
Oh, my God.
Oh, this reminds me of something. This reminds me of Iraq, dude. Oh, we're gonna bring them freedom. This motherfucker ran on like not doing that. Remember, he's like, Kamala's gonna start a war. Kamala is gonna start all the wars. Fucking God.
Vote and
Ridiculous.
in that they like the oil that we've taken $4 billion worth of oil in one day, and that'll increase. We're going to have it rebuilt. All the big oil companies are coming in. They're going to make a lot of money, and Venezuela's going to get some of that money, and we're going to get some of that money. And
by we, he means him and his family.
Stability to the region. We brought stability and much lower oil prices. You know, we have gasoline now down to, in many cases, $1.99 a gallon.
Where? I don't believe you.
What I'm seeing in Oakland indicates to me that there might be some gas station somewhere selling it for $1.99 because it's under $4 here, right? And we're usually about double the cheapest.
I was able to get gas at a place in Anderson with the Safeway discount for $2.39 a gallon, and that was like, woo!
Yeah, see, so it's possible, but it's not like that's everybody's experience, right?
No,
like,
no. I was just like, that's. I might have been the only one in the country to do that day.
Right. Did you know? Actually, don't worry about it because this is actually just law enforcement. This is what law enforcement is when you go to another country and fucking black bag their leader. It's just, it's like when you
country jack a country and steal their president and then take their oil. We just country jack somebody, Dave. Like
I never thought
theft,
actually,
like Grand World Auto.
I called the fucking cops on Venezuela and they went and arrested Venezuela.
Yeah, we fucking country jacked We country jacked the country.
Anyway, it was just a law enforcement operation, though. Here's Pam Bondi again with fucking, of course, Sean fucking Hannity, who is loving this because this guy ain't never met a war that he wasn't fucking Christ-debating to, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it goes full amosexual during war season.
Don't like the fact that Donald Trump did this and say he did not have the authority or he needed to go to Congress. You say what?
Sean, this was well within the president's Article 2 powers. It was a law enforcement function to arrest indicted individuals in Venezuela. Our military pulled off a flawless execution of that. It was amazing. And, Sean, America and the Western Hemisphere is safer tonight.
No, homegirl, law enforcement is what you do inside of your own country. It's when you shoot an American's dog, not when you shoot another country's leader's dog.
But he was looking at me funny, Dave.
Oh man, I think it would have been. I think it would have been great if we did, instead of sending like highly trained troops over there, we should have just sent these bumbling ice fools over there to try to do this instead.
Oh God. Oh, Pee Wee German.
All right. Yep. It's up next is Stephen Miller. Did you know that Venezuela is kind of nearby? And therefore, actually, all their resources, they actually belong to the United States because they're so nearby. It makes sense. It makes sense, actually. Sort of like how Germany, everybody's like, oh, everybody's nearby us. We're just going to fucking take all their resources and do other things.
But just a few other things. Don't worry about those other things. They're not going to involve you. You're good.
A lot of people don't know that it was American companies that built out the oil infrastructure going back to the 1920s in Venezuela. And then it was seized by the state. And at that point, they basically stole all of that money from American companies and Americans there, right?
Yes, in fact, it was probably the greatest material theft that had ever been committed against the United States of America in terms of its raw dollar and financial value.
Because the United States never stole anything from anybody ever.
Oh, that's
the worst screenshot ever.
You're not going to get a good one. You're not going to get a good one.
Proven oil reserve in the world. Just hours away from the United States of America, the largest proven oil reserve in the world. And up until recently, that oil reserve was exploited by our adversaries to fund their ambitions, to fund their militaries, to fund their terrorism.
And now we're going to fund our own terrorism with the oil.
And the United States, of course, lost its resources, its wealth, its property. As you pointed out, we discovered the oil. We created the technology to extract the oil, we invested in the platforms, and we built the refineries to process that heavy crude in a way that, again, only America has that expertise that we shared. And so that historic injustice has been reversed, and just as importantly, our adversaries no longer have the ability to use Venezuela to export terrorism around the globe. Then the Maduro regime no longer has the ability to send terrorists, cartels, gang members, and drugs into our country, saving ultimately, Sean, hundreds of thousands of American lives through what we can all agree has been a military masterclass under President Trump's leadership.
So a couple things. One, when they fucking eminent domained the land, they gave money to the oil companies. Now the fucking the American government did not think that the money was enough or whatever, but they did like pay for they like eminent domained it essentially. They're like, this is ours now. Here's a check. Get out of here. And like that's just kind of what happened. And like that happens, you know, like all the time. I don't understand.
Well, I mean, how dare anybody go over to anybody's anything and just steal it without reasonable cause or by.
Hey now.
Hey. What do you mean they just went over and took it? We fucking country checked someone.
We're going to be in control of their natural resources, which I guess helps you somehow.
Oh, God.
Thanks for having me. Taking out a dictator in Venezuela. How does that help the average American?
Well, a few things.
It doesn't.
First of all, what it means is we're going to be able to control the incredible natural resources of Venezuela, which
God, all he needs is a little bit of eyeshadow and he could be all smoky eye. Look at him. You got to help him with his makeup and Fallout palette.
which is good for America in two ways. Number one, it allows us to put leverage on our enemies. Number two, it makes sure that if Americans need high quality, low cost power, we're always going to have access to it. And then the third thing is it does demonstrate American military excellence, which makes people afraid to cross us in the future. Some of the best ways that you maintain the peace is to make it clear that you carry a very strong sword if you ever need to use it. So I think it's good for us in a lot of different ways. We also have to remember, Jesse, this is in our neighborhood. This is not Iraq. This is not 7,000 miles.
Yeah, but we'll bomb them and abduct their fucking leader too. Like,
don't think we won't.
This is in our neighborhood. If we cannot follow the basic principle, which has been a cornerstone of American foreign policy for 200 years, that we control our neighborhood, a lot of bad people are going to take advantage of it. What the President of the United States said is, in our neighborhood, the United States calls the shots. That's the way it's always been. That's the way it is again under the President's leadership.
Yeah, the guy wants you right. He wants to be a fucking mob boss. This is my neighborhood. And I call the shots.
We only kidnap people in our neighborhood.
Oh God, this is just getting worse, and we're not even to like the other story. There's only 2 this week, but it's fucking big ones. Here's if anybody remember Matt Taibbi, who used to be like an investigative journalist who wrote about like malfeasance in Wall Street and was a pretty vocal opponent of the Iraq War, if I remember correctly. But now that he's fucking Star Spangled Awesome and fucking did the Twitter files and shit, friends with Barry Weiss. Well, now actually. That's not really, even though he was an opponent of the Iraq War back then, that's not really what he meant. Here's what he meant actually about being an opponent of the Iraq War.
Strip him of his Giants gear.
You know, and as for the Iraq oil thing, I was all in favor of, like, if we were there, yeah, let's take it. Like, I don't understand not, you know, I mean, I guess the idea of turning it over to the Iraqi people, but I don't know. I felt a little more mercenary about that. Like,
well, you know, once you're in the realm of warfare, you're in the realm of self-interest, right? And the way we're supposed to do wars now is we invade, destabilize, and destroy whole countries and kill tens of thousands and have tens of thousands killed, as happened in Iraq. But we're too good to take the oil.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Bro, just say the fucking quiet part into a fucking bullhorn.
I like have jokingly in the past said next time we go to war for oil, we should get some fucking oil, but I was kidding.
Yeah, that's just joking because we're fucking awful people who have a fucking just a twisted sense of humor.
Oh God! Oh no!
We've been telling you not to listen to us the whole time. Seriously, we still mean it.
And it's been working. It worked in 2025. That's for sure. The numbers went down.
No.
But So
Please listen to the Plex.
We got a clip from Gottfeld's show, and he had some guest on, and I don't think he expected this. I don't know this lady's name, Kat Timpf. I didn't look her up. I bet she's fucking some kind of ghoul. But this is a little bit longer clip than usual. But check this out. I don't think Gottfeld was ready for this.
You have to see how some people might be feeling a little bit of whiplash here, given that Trump spent 10 years railing against U.S.-led regime change war. His own director of intelligence, as recently as 2 months ago, was railing against regime change war, and then he does one. So
it's just a regime change. The regime is still there, as far as I know. The vice president.
They kidnapped the president.
We go to a country, we capture their leader, we bomb it, and then we say we run this country now. That's not war. But when they say send cocaine over here that people are willingly snorting, that is war.
Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Who the fuck is Kat Tim? Fuck yeah!
Fucking based as hell.
She's like, I'm gonna do a bunch of coke right after this interview. Fuck you, Gottfeld.
And you're not invited.
She's like, to be fair, that shit doesn't come from Venezuela. I only get the finest from Colombia. Thank you very much.
Right.
I think that
doesn't make any sense.
It does to me, in the sense that if this guy is committing crimes against the United States, you lawfully go and get him. He gets his due process here. The regime is still the
now you want to talk about due process?
Elected.
I'm shocked.
He wasn't elected legitimately, so he was never considered the leader of Venezuela by anybody except for himself. So I think it was difference of opinion, but he wasn't considered a legitimate leader. He had committed crimes against the country. He's going to get his due process. He may be found not guilty. Who knows?
We went in, took him, bombed the country, and said we're in control of it. That's regime change war.
Yeah. Like, I love you. He's like, oh, I don't know. We just arrested him. And it's like, well, that's great. But he's like you can't do that. I mean, if you could, the French Foreign Legion would have already come and arrested Candace Owens like she said was going to happen to her. But she's just crazy. The French Foreign, she doesn't even know what the French Foreign Legion is. Anyway, there's more of this.
That's a guy being like, hey, I did bang all these other girls behind your back, but I didn't cheat. You can call it whatever you want, but it is what it is.
That's the analogy you always use.
Okay, well, look, having concerns about this, it's very understandable. A lot of people feel skeptical that this isn't going to be the one that's different than all the other ones.
Yeah.
A lot of people are skeptical. For me personally, I'm not so confident that this is the one that this is not the regime change that's finally going to work the way we say it's going to work. I would not willingly go die for it. I would not willingly send my son to go die for it. So I would think it would be hypocritical of me to call for other people to have to send their.
I see your point. I just don't see it as that. I don't think Trump.
He's like, yeah, but you're rich and we send the poor people to war.
I see your point, but you're a woman, so I'm going to completely discredit it immediately.
Maybe it's two zits. Tyrus, are you owed money?
Did you notice he just straight up stole the Garfield logo, by the way?
Yeah.
The fucking Jim Davis should sue him. I don't know though. Is Jim Davis still alive? And if so, is he a chud? Who knows?
I mean, it's 50-50 these days.
Maybe John, the Garfield's owner, can sue him.
Money.
Yes. And I'll sell. I'll take half.
Okay.
I'll donate. I'll take 12 and a half, and I'll donate the other 12 to my favorite charity. Me. And I'm going to give myself a nice warm blanket with my face on it for donating $39 a day to myself for the rest of my life. This is one of those things where he's not being very Hitler-like.
Yeah.
You can't go out and knock out the other dictators. I mean, what is the media going to do? I think probably the funniest thing to watch was Ana Navarro have to say, good job. And her head didn't explode, and I was kind of upset about that. But
I actually watched The View.
No,
without telling me.
I did not. No, never. I was flipping through the gram, and I saw it, and I was like, I was wondering how they're going to spin this one. And they can't. And I think that's the important thing. I don't care. I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad that we're making his move.
I mean, he's not gone. He's just kidnapped in jail.
Right. And
they just kidnapped him.
The people there don't have to like this guy for when the oil companies show up, they're like, wait a minute. oh, look, your oil. Oh, shit. All your oil refineries are on fire. Oopsie poopsie. Like, you don't have to like Maduro to be like, wait a minute, whoa. Like, they're acting like they're just going to go in there and be like, oh, here you go, Exxon. And the Exxon people aren't going to get fucking shot.
Right.
Shouldn't do this and we shouldn't do that. But when we haven't been doing a lot of things for the last 4 years, and we're all suffering from it. So the United States has to do big boy mean things sometimes, and you might not.
What?
Like it, but in the
no, we don't.
There was millions of people celebrating freedom this weekend. So
out of 7 billion on the planet, do you mean like in Venezuela? I think if you live in Venezuela, even if you're part of the opposition, right? You're like, oh, this is not good. I remember when they brought freedom to Iraq.
Like we were greeted as liberators in Iraq. Listen, having concerns about this does not make you pro-Maduro any more than having concerns about the war in Ukraine made you a Putin puppet. It's the same playbook of smart.
I don't think anybody's saying that, though.
For bringing up, all day I've been hearing it.
From where? Not from
all over
us.
the place.
Tom, have you been saying that?
You can feel both ways. You can have two thoughts on the
I have not been saying that.
Oh, you fucking both sides are. Shut the fuck up.
But I think we should be able to live in a country where people can feel one way.
Yes.
They can feel uncomfortable about it, and other people can be happy about it. Yeah. Because that's what it is. But have ideas.
And I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is...
Well, you can't have ideas about what is considered fucking humane and what is not about other people's humanity and their ability to exist without your neighbor fucking country coming over and country jacking you and stealing your president.
It works out well for us and for the people that we're supposed to be rescuing, but we do not have a very good track record.
And the cash exchange goes the same. I want the rates now, not the rates during the Biden administration.
What the fuck?
What?
I don't know, man. I just feel like it's just like really not a good idea to like go kidnap the leader of another country. I mean, I don't give a fuck what country it is.
No.
Oh man, this is fucking amazing. So this is Congressman Jason Crow, Democrat from Colorado on Fox. Apparently, this was like right when the kidnapping was announced, and so I think this is going to be an example of maybe how you deal with Fox like during this situation. I think. Let's see.
Talk about it since 1989. As we've just heard many prominent Democrats do.
The Maduro regime, as it was constructed, exists almost in its entirety as we sit here today in Venezuela.
So they should have taken out the whole thing.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
So we should take out no one.
What I'm saying is I don't believe it's in our...
we should have taken out no one.
Mm-hmm.
Immediate interest that Americans want us to be engaged in another nation-building quagmire
let me ask
like
you this.
we have done for 20 years.
You have about 100,000 Americans dying of drug overdose. Most of those drugs coming from Venezuela and other places.
No. The Sackler family is insulted now.
What about?
I'm just telling you, there's some motherfucker, one of them Sacklers is there like, excuse me, my body count, excuse me. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it's fucking the drugs that are trafficked through Venezuela mostly go through Trinidad to Europe. Most of the drugs that come to America, like cocaine and stuff, cocaine comes from Colombia, but like the fentanyl is, some of it's produced here in America, some of it comes from China, some of it comes from Mexico, none of it comes from Venezuela. And the drug overdoses, I mean, it's not like nobody's overdosing on a little bit of yayo, but that is not the fucking problem. The problem is you go to buy the yayo and there's fentanyl in it.
Right.
But also Venezuela traffics drugs to Europe, not to the United States, primarily.
Colombia certainly as well.
That's actually not true.
That's not true that 100,000 Americans...
The majority of the deaths by drugs in America are the result of meth and fentanyl. Almost none of that comes from Venezuela.
So you're okay with massive amounts of cocaine traffic?
Yes. Like that other lady said, I don't know, people buy it and willingly put it up their nose. Where's the fucking war? Legalize that shit. Fucking sell it at 7-Eleven.
Into the United States from Venezuela.
No, I'm not saying that either. What I'm saying is if we want a real drug strategy, if we want to stop fentanyl and meth, which is largely what's killing our children and devastating our...
And meth comes from Arizona.
communities, then we need a real drug strategy to do that. But actually going and deposing a foreign leader and capturing them and now saying we're going to run the country, as Donald Trump just said on Saturday.
He was indicted by
is
the
not gonna
U.S.
stop
Justice
that.
Department. So we should just.
But wait a minute. You can't really. I mean, what does that mean? Does the U.S. Department of Justice now have jurisdiction over other countries?
No. I mean, are we just like degrading everything and dumbing it down to the Scientology gambit of if you think it's true for yourself, then it's true?
What's true for you is what feels good. Do your own research. Like, but she kept like saying, "Oh, you're saying this," and he's like, "I didn't say that."
No.
I would just eventually be like, listen, if you're going to fucking do my part for me, then what the fuck am I even doing here being interviewed? If you're going to answer your own fucking questions for me. Like,
not follow through on action and indictments of our own Justice Department to bring him to justice in the United States. Otherwise, what's the point of these sorts of indictments?
Well, there's no point.
What I'm saying, right? There are thousands of people who are indicted, but just because somebody's indicted, does that mean that we go and depose a leader and actually say we're going to run a country? Donald Trump on Saturday said very specifically that the United States is going to run Venezuela, that we're going to be in control of it, and we're going to put our oil companies in place.
We didn't leave anyone there, so I think that interpretation, it sounds to me that the interpretation is to try to help the oil industry get up and running again, to prevent the drug operation.
You send fucking a bunch of oil people there. Now whatever resistance forces, they're like, oh, thanks for the hostages.
Did you put a bow
oil
on
company
them for us, or just send them with more guns?
I don't fucking love the oil companies and shit, but there ain't no fucking oil company about to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna send 5,000 workers over there. Yeah, that sounds great. Actually, that's what we're gonna do right now. Like, get the whole fuck out of here. Like, I'm sorry, like the fucking like Exxon Mobil or whatever. They're like, oh, you want us to do what? No. They go to Shell. No. They go to BP, and BP's like, we're not even American. You shut the fuck up.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like, no, they're not going over there. Like, why would, like, what the fuck? No. I think what's going to happen is we're going to send fucking people down there and we're going to fucking recolonize that place or whatever and then fucking enslave the local population to work the oil fields. I think that's what we're going to fucking do because this is America and that's how we roll. I think that's the plan because these oil companies, they're not saying, oh, we have this great engineer, let's send him down there. And so he can get turned into a hostage or shot or both. Like, I'm sorry, whether or not people are like loyal to Maduro specifically or whatever, there are fucking groups of people, insurgent groups, whatever you want to call them, freedom fighters, I guess, which is what the Afghanis were before they were terrorists when they were fighting the Russians. The freedom fighters, we'll call them, planning to fucking figure out, oh, once these people get here, how do we make this oil facility explode in the most dramatic possible manner? Like, they're like, come on.
Yeah. No, you're not. You're right there. You're
people, you don't have to, like, I don't like Donald Trump, but if some other country fucking whisked Donald Trump away and said that now we run Oakland, I'd be like, the fuck you do. Right? Like, no, you don't. So, oh no. Uh-oh. We're going to move on to Greenland. Greenland, this is great. Let's start another war in Europe. Here's Stephen Miller. These posts usually like unhinged. And I'm like, oh, could you stop using that kind of language? No, this shit is unhinged. I watched it to check to see if it was unhinged. Also to make sure that I didn't double up a clip, which I could have done otherwise. I don't like when they do this right here, though, with the clips where they're like, here, we're going to make this as small as possible. Anyway.
Small clip is small.
Small clip for a very small man. Anyway, here we go. Jake Tapper versus Stephen Miller on the subject of Greenland, I guess.
Important topic. The premier of Greenland and the premier of Denmark and other Danish officials are responding to a Twitter post from your wife, Katie Miller, herself a former Trump White House official, showing Greenland covered with an American flag, saying soon. After that was posted, President Trump repeated the claim that the U.S. needs Greenland for national security reasons. The Danish prime minister responded to this in an interview earlier today, as reported by Bloomberg, quote, I believe one should take the American president seriously when he says it wants Greenland, but I will also make it clear that if the U.S. chooses to attack another NATO country militarily, then everything stops, including NATO, and thus the security that has been established since the end of the Second World War. Can you rule out that the U.S. is ever going to try to take Greenland by force?
Well, let me go back a step. The president has been clear for months now. So I know you're treating this as breaking news. The president has been clear for months now that the United States should be the nation that has Greenland as part of our overall security apparatus.
So this part's crazy because we could just we could be like, hey, you guys mind if we put an air base here? And they'd be like, well, you put them everywhere else. Go ahead. This isn't about that. The motherfucker probably saw like the maps are kind of distorted, right? And Greenland looks like it's almost as big as Africa on a fucking globe. But if you get like a shitty fucking one of those globes that was like definitely made by white people, you're like, why are all these places where white people don't live? Why all these countries look so much smaller than they really are? You get one of those globes and Trump's like, look how big that place is. And if you remember, like Greenland, that was like a joke or whatever that basically that Greenland was actually covered in ice and Iceland was actually green. So he probably doesn't know that either. So he probably thinks it's this lush green place that looks like Northern Ireland, except they fucking hate him in Northern Ireland too.
No, it's green. It looks like it's covered in money. And you know how I like my land covered in green money.
How much would it cost to make the whole thing gold?
They have all those parts at Home Depot. You just go get them. They just show them and they can glue them to the thing like command strips. And then when I leave, they'll take them all off and throw them out in the lawn and burn them.
Wife posted that like hours after the Venezuela operation.
No, but
that's why it's newly relevant.
No, I'll talk with you about it for an hour. I think it's a really important conversation. I just wanted to reset, Jake, by making clear that it has been the formal position of the U.S. government since the beginning of this administration, frankly, going back into the previous Trump administration, that Greenland should be part of the United States. The president has been very clear about that. That is the formal position of the U.S. government.
Right, but can you say that military action against Greenland is off the table?
It wouldn't be military action against Greenland. The Greenland has a population of 1,000 people, Jake. The real question is, by what
does that matter?
What right? What right does that's a protectorate of theirs. It's they I don't know, they conquested it at one point. That shit was fucked up too, I suppose, but the people of Greenland ain't complaining much. They rather seem to like it from what I understand. They're like, oh, tranquility and healthcare? All right, cool.
Control over Greenland. What is the basis of their territorial claim? What is their basis of having Greenland as a colony of Denmark? The United States is the power of NATO. For the United States to secure the Arctic region, to protect and defend NATO and NATO interests, obviously Greenland should be part of the United States.
But you want to leave NATO.
Conversation that we're going to have as a country. That's a process we're going to have as a community of nations.
So you can't take it off the table that the U.S. would use military force to seize Greenland. You can't take it off the table.
Jake, I understand you're trying very hard to, which again is your job. I respect it. It's great to get exactly the headline. Right?
Do you though?
I'm trying to get an answer
that says Miller refuses to rule out.
Well, but you're doing that.
That's the truth, though. That's what you're doing.
Right? You're like, don't tell the truth.
The United States should have Greenland as part of the United States. There's no need to even think.
Well, I should have a Ferrari.
Talk about this in the context that you're asking of a military operation. Nobody's going to fight the United States militarily over the future of Greenland.
One last question, Stephen.
Oh, that shit that he said isn't true. There a couple European nations have already sent some fucking warboats over there. What are they just hanging out over by Greenland? Denmark don't got much of a military, but like, I don't know, man. There's fucking countries over there. They got nukes and shit. That would be fucked up if we end up at war with Europe, like all of it.
They're just rubbernecking, Dave.
We're just there to watch the shit show.
Yeah, and it's like the audience that they're gonna end out there and they're all Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. That's it.
And like, not for nothing, there's only 30,000 people in Greenland. You think none of them know how to fucking build an improvised explosive device? They got the internet.
A lot of space too. They don't have to go out and like accidentally blow up a neighborhood. They can just go way out to the middle of nowhere and blow shit up for fun.
Or fucking build something out in the middle of nowhere so it doesn't hurt anybody else.
Yeah.
What a mess. What a fucking nightmare. Like, and it's not just that. There's like other countries besides just the European ones. Like China and Russia are still there. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh no. Anyway, here's more of Stephen Miller. He got he threw a fit actually during the same interview when he was asked a question about Venezuela. Because that's what he does. He throws fits and fucking, I don't know, doesn't care when his wife cheats on him with fucking apartheid Clyde.
Why does the president think that Machado should not be the next leader? Why does he think she's weak?
First of all of Venezuela experts agree. All Venezuela experts agree that it would be absurd.
All the ones we bought and paid for.
To suddenly fly her into the country and to put her in charge. And the military would follow her, and the security forces would follow her. This is not a serious. It's not even a serious question.
So should there be an election?
So this is amazing. They're like, I don't know. They got this opposition leader. Yeah, she's not actually that popular in Venezuela. Like, and she probably shouldn't have got the Nobel Peace Prize because she's like basically been begging for like Western intervention or whatever, like for Europe or the United States to like invade Venezuela. It doesn't sound very peaceful to me. But he's like saying, oh, well, she doesn't have the support of the military and the rank and file on the ground. It's like, motherfucker, why do you think you do?
Right.
I mean, again, I don't think the people there are fucking, I don't care if you could find the most hating on Maduro motherfucker there. And he'd be like, they'd probably be like, well, I don't know. I might have to throw a fucking Molotov at the Americans when they come here.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the floor for 30 seconds. Let me tell you what we are doing here, Jake. The United States, this is sort of foundational. The United States is using its military to secure our interests unapologetically in our hemisphere. We're a superpower, and under President Trump, we are going to conduct ourselves as a superpower.
Because it will never be President Miller.
A nation in our own backyard.
You wee little man.
Become the supplier of resources to our adversaries, but not to us. To hoard weapons from our adversaries. To be able to be positioned as an asset against the United States rather than on behalf of the United States.
Sovereign countries should be able to do what they want to do.
The Monroe Doctrine and the Trump Doctrine is all about securing the national interests of America. For years, we sent our soldiers to die in deserts in the Middle East to try to build them parliaments, to try to build them democracies, to try to give them more oil, to try to give them more resources.
Fucking hang up on him. Fuck it.
The free world, Jake, depends on America being able to assert ourselves and our interests without apology. This whole period that happened after World War II, where the West began apologizing.
It's like letting Michael Murphy cook.
I don't even know honestly what you're talking about right now.
It's
Can you play that again, please?
Yeah, of course.
Please.
I don't even know honestly what you're talking about right now.
Whoever you are, I love you.
I don't even know honestly what you're talking about right now.
What I'm talking about, Jake, is the idea. And by the way, you do. I know you love doing that smarmy thing, Jake. And I was hoping to be better than that this time.
I asked you about if there should be an election.
Exactly.
I asked you if there would be an election in Venezuela. That's what I asked.
This is not supposed to be for us to be even deciding on. You're ceding ground here by even asking that question. The question should be, what the entire fuck are you guys doing?
This is like one major complaint that I mean, there's a lot of things to complain about the media, right? But one major complaint that I have about the fucking media is that they sit around and fucking pontificate 24 hours a day about like worst case scenario shit. And I think like more times than not, because Trump is just fucking obsessive when it comes to watching media and shit about him, that we have probably given ideas to him that he would not have thought of on his own.
Possibly.
I said, why was the president so quick to dismiss Machado? You answered that question. And then I said,
the objective, Jake, is security and stability for the people of Venezuela. With our help and leadership, that country will become more prosperous than it has ever been in its whole history. Venezuelans
because we said so.
Is part of the Maduro regime.
Better off. There will be conversations, Jake, about all of these guideposts along the way. The reason why I was giving you that speech, which I know you didn't want to hear, is because you're approaching this from the wrong frame.
No, it's because he knows he's only got like a fucking 5.5 minute segment, and if he can just fucking talk for 1.5 minutes of it, it makes it so he doesn't have to answer questions. That's the point. Is he knows how long the fucking segment is, and so if he goes on there and just starts speechifying, then the fucking segment becomes his fucking basically him giving a speech. That's why he fucking gave that little speech, is to take up time and put his message out there and not answer the host's questions. Now, Jake Tapper's a ghoul. And in fucking 3 or 4 months, he's going to be like rah-rahing the invasion, the eventual invasion and fucking anti-insurgent war in Venezuela. You watch.
This neoliberal frame that the United States' job is to go around the world and demanding immediate elections be held everywhere, immediately, all the time, right away, to create these vacuums.
That's not what I think, but you invaded the country. We went into the country and we seized the leader of Venezuela.
Damn straight we did.
And I'm
because
saying,
we're not going to let.
So is the U.S. going to have new elections?
Jake, is that we're not going to let Tim Pot communist dictators send rapists into our country, send drugs into our country, send weapons.
Oh, fuck, man. Like, what? Like, what is, I mean, I don't know. He's Stephen Miller. That's what's wrong with him.
I got nothing. I got fucking nothing.
So this is really interesting. This is JD Vance. I tried to limit.
That's the first time that's been said together in a sentence.
So I think a lot of the 3 pages I got rid of on the docket were actually JD Vance, because I was like, I can just go get rid of a lot of JD Vance stuff right now.
Yeah.
So he's going to say that the War Powers Act is unconstitutional. The problem is in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 18 of the U.S. Constitution, it literally says that Congress has the power to declare war on another country. So he is just, what's the word? Lying.
Yeah.
Than any disagreement in policy. At the people who actually voted, every single one of them have supported the administration's plan. Second of all, as the president, I believe himself has already said, every president, Democrat or Republican, believes the War Powers Act is fundamentally a fake and unconstitutional law. It's not going to change anything about how we conduct foreign policy over the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, and that'll continue to be how we approach things. Go ahead.
So what he's saying is the president is a dictator, and the part of the Constitution that says one of the few powers that the president doesn't have that Congress actually has to declare war, well, that part of the Constitution is actually fucking unconstitutional, which doesn't make any sense.
No.
Like, your dog isn't even a dog. Well, no, that's a dog.
But your dog thinks it's a cat. Well, that's because it hung around cats, but it's still a dog.
Still a dog. All right, well, now we're going to get on to Minneapolis. What we're not going to do is show the video. Everybody's seen the fucking video, the frame by frame, the fucking little lines and all the fake CSI shit that people on both the left and the right were doing. And the video may come up incidentally as we cover the media's response to it. But, I think everybody saw the video and can make up their own fucking mind about what happened. So we're not going to soapbox about that, because boy, howdy, has everybody been soapboxing about that. But I will say that everybody's real mad at the mayor of Minneapolis because he had the temerity to say this.
Better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here.
Dude, that fucking sign language guy was like...
Listen, oh God, the best parts of some of these press briefings are the fucking sign language interpreters. They are sometimes the real fucking heroes of the entire scenario.
Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave.
Fuck yeah, get out. Get the fuck out. And not for nothing, if you remember, this is the second flashpoint in the 2020s. George Floyd was murdered in Minneapolis. Like,
one of the things, just a few blocks from there. One of the things that I choose the political and public outcry temperature is whether or not woke is live on Twitch.
Oh yeah, I mean, shit has hit the fan. Everybody do follow that woke channel. So this is from this morning. This is the same mayor, and he's going to get asked, "Well, what's it? Why did you say that? Why are you being so rude? Why are you being so mean?" And this is like not on like Fox or whatever. This is on Meet the Press. I I think press the meat is better. Why were you being so mean?
You told ICE, quote, to get the F out of Minneapolis. We are now seeing major protests all across the country, as you well know. I know that you've seen them as well. Do you bear any responsibility as a local leader, Mayor Fry, to bring down the temperature right now?
So the goon squad came to your city and is terrorizing your community, but it's your job to be nice.
No.
It's like this is like what people have been saying to like victims of like domestic abuse. Well, what'd you do to piss them off? Maybe, or well, what if she would only learn to listen?
Or if she hadn't worn shorts that short.
Right. Oh my God.
Of course, I bear responsibility to bring down the temperature. That's part of my role as mayor. And by the way, protests here in Minneapolis are peaceful. We had, 10,000 or so people that were protesting and marching yesterday, and virtually all of it was very peaceful expression of First Amendment rights. And, to those that are offended, I'm sorry I offended their delicate ears, but as far as who inflamed the situation, I dropped an F-bomb and they killed somebody. I think the killing somebody is the inflammatory element here, not the F-bomb, which I'm sure we've all heard before.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you. Good for you. I like him. And also, good looking man. Good looking man.
Yeah.
Maybe we ain't got nobody for 2028, so maybe it'll be him. Fuck. All right. Here's more. This is on CNN, and he's, they're still like, well, are you sure? Are you sure you should have said the F word? Actually, I mean,
pretty sure I said the F word. Pretty sure he said it pretty loud and clear and did not stutter, and neither did that interpreter.
Yeah, it's like the chat, Maddie in chat is like, oh, they shot you. We were tone policing you because, like, oh, I hate this. This is like a weapon, like we talked about this a lot on Intellectual Dollar Tree, right? Where it was always about like, well, you should be more polite. It's like to Jordan Peterson, right? In this case, to ICE. Are you sure? Like, here we go. Here he is on CNN, actually, with this, and I forget this lady's name. Do you remember her? Caitlin something, right? Everybody thought she was going to be like some chud because she was like a former, I forget where she used to work. I think she used to be at the Daily Caller, like Tucker Carlson's rag. And she came on and she's like done a great job. She's done a fabulous job, actually. Maybe she left Tucker Carlson's rag because she's not a fascist. Who knows?
And Mr. Mayor, after you told ICE.
Caitlin Collins is her name. Yeah, she's done a great job. She's there's some people might even say that she saved CNN in a way. Not that I'm here like rah CNN, but
out of the city. I've seen a lot of Republicans here in Washington criticizing those comments, saying that you're escalating tensions with that. Can you respond to them? And what do you say to them tonight? People who
you should see, like, you also could go fuck yourself.
Those comments.
I'm so sorry if I offended their Disney princess ears, but
fuck yeah. This is that kind of like there's this attitude about like Minneapolis, Chicago, like the big Midwest cities, right? It's a little different than the New York City I'm walking here, but it's sort of kind of like that. But there's this attitude like in the big Midwestern cities, and he's got it.
The thing, if we're talking about what's inflammatory, on the one hand, you got someone who dropped an F-bomb, and on the other hand, you got someone who killed somebody else. F-bomb, killing somebody. I think the more inflammatory action is killing somebody. And so, once again, let's be real and just honest and straight up about what's happening here. This is not okay. The way they're coming into cities, not just Minneapolis, but around the country, is not okay. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you should understand the importance of constitutional law enforcement. You should understand the importance of not discriminating.
I like this guy president just based on his accent.
People off the street because they're Somali or Latino. And especially from what we've seen, you should also understand the importance of de-escalating tense situations, not killing people and yanking out a gun. And so, again, I'm not going to preempt the investigation. It is important that we do that. And at the same time, you know, you want to make a big deal about an F-bomb, let's make a big deal about our Constitution. I think that's probably the better route.
Yeah, but we just had Stephen Miller tell us a minute ago that the Constitution itself is unconstitutional. So,
yeah, so
which they'll have people believe in eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, and I don't oh, fuck it. Like we're 1 page into a 4-page docket, and it's been an hour. So I'm like, oh, we could go too long if I fucking filibuster. Well, that ship has already sailed to Greenland. I remember during like when SCOTUS like overturned Obergefell and the gay marriage was basically legal, and they cited the 14th Amendment. I literally had people on Facebook telling me that the 14th Amendment was unconstitutional. And that's a version of what's like going to be happening here. They're going to be telling us the parts of the Constitution are actually unconstitutional, and that's great. So we got Tina Smith. She is a Democrat, I believe Democrat House member from Minneapolis or from Minnesota. I think she does represent Minneapolis, but I'm not sure. Or I could be wrong, and she's a senator, which is correct. She's actually a member of the Senate, not the House of Representatives. This is Policy Wonk Dave. Anyway, she's going to echo some of the same sentiments here. How rude.
I think the Trump administration is so fixated on Minnesota right now.
Well, I wish I knew. I mean, I wish they would just leave us the fuck alone.
Yeah!
What is when do things stop being about politics? And
when it started all being about Donald Trump.
And decency. And so, I mean, I'm sure we can all hypothesize on what all of their political reasons are. But meanwhile, a woman died being shot in her car. And everything that they're doing is making it worse and not better. Thank you all.
So unfortunately, I kind of don't like this idea. Oh, well, we shouldn't make this about politics. Homegirl, you're a senator.
Yeah.
Like, this is politics. Politics are actually what we're supposed to be doing instead of what's happening right now.
Right. That's what I'm saying is, yeah, it's not about politics right now because everything is about what Trump wants, and Trump's fucking just this whole MAGA crack pipe dream.
So, I mean, fuck the police and all, but here's the police chief of Minneapolis. And I mean, Homeboy kind of has a point here where the police are supposed to like investigate crime. Right. I mean, we're not like these are the law enforcement agents of Minneapolis. Dun dun. No, nothing like that. No. But if somebody was shot and it was, it seems to be that it was unjustified and it happened within this guy's jurisdiction, then I mean, ostensibly it's his job to fucking investigate it. But I think they're going to try not to let him. They might fucking shoot this guy next.
That's what we have. It did play out on video. The angle that President Trump is sharing appears to show the agent bumped by the vehicle. And he, of course, is characterizing it as he wrote that the woman driving the car was disorderly, obstructing and resisting, and then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer.
Well, that's not true.
Is that what happened here? Is that the version you see, or is it different?
I would tell you this much. We owe it to this woman, to her family, and to the American public to ensure that an investigation does occur. And that investigation occurs and it follows all of the available evidence to its logical conclusion. That being said, I can also tell you law enforcement in the United States has been training for many years to try and avoid incidents like this whenever possible, to try and avoid having law enforcement officers placed into a situation with an unarmed motorist where they may have to use force. That's why there is an emphasis on proportionality, an emphasis on if you are able to identify a license plate, identify who the person is, follow up afterwards if there is some independent crime that did occur prior to the incident.
Right. And of course, in this case, all that was readily available. We can all see the license plate information. That would have been very easy to do. And then I'm just stating the facts. Now,
oh, yeah. Like, this isn't the fucking fuck ICE, but these people aren't even trained as well as like your average fucking small town cop. right? You do not fucking stand in front of one. You don't stand in front of a fucking car. You just don't. That's the rule at a protest too. If you're a protester, do not stand in front of anyone's car.
Yeah.
You need to live to protest another day. But the other one is the other thing that I noticed. I don't think a lot of people are talking about it. I'm not some big fucking firearms expert here, but I learned this from Snoop on The Wire, that when you fire your gun, you put both hands on it, you stop, you square up, and you fucking fire with the gun like in front of you, like because you will be more accurate. And you could hurt your hand firing a gun all one-handed, but this motherfucker had a phone in his other hand, all like trying to make a TikTok video or something while he was fucking doing this.
Right.
Like this isn't the fucking movies. Like they do this all the time on TV and the movies, and that's what these people think. They're like, oh, I watched it on fucking A Person of Interest. John, the guy that played Jesus and now believes in QAnon, actually shot the guy, and magically the car stopped. Actually, I don't know what happened. You just disable the driver and the car fucking stops. It's like, no, dude, the car keeps going. Like, that's why you don't shoot somebody driving a car, right? It's because the car keeps going. I mean,
yeah.
Like all kind of shit was wrong here. I'm not saying that, you know, oh, you should that you should go around shooting people, but if you're gonna do it, put both your hands on the fucking gun. You fired guns, you know, 2 hands on the gun. If you're going to fire it, 2 hands.
Yeah, even if you're shooting from the hip, 2 hands.
Right, because you're not. This isn't like you're not doing like a somersault like fucking Tom Cruise and then getting up, and as you fucking get up, fucking shooting 3 people in the head while you're finishing your somersault.
Sideways. Don't. No. You know why? You shoot it sideways. You know what happens? A kickback, bap, and you hit yourself right in the fucking face because you're an idiot.
Right. And I'm not saying this guy should have fired at all, but if you're not in a position to like square up like that, you should run. You should get out of the way, because not for nothing. Like if you looked also, if he would have been off by like a foot or whatever, which is totally possible based on how he was firing, he would have shot another one of those ICE agents. And I mean, I don't know. I'm fucking no crying over fucking spilled ICE agents. But like, but then they would have blamed that shit on homegirl too, right? They'd have been like, oh, she made him do it. She made him do it. It's like the why are you punching yourself thing that the bully does, right? Had that happened? Right. Oh, God. Anyway, oh, fuck. Apparently her driving off, or, you know, the angle isn't great, but I can tell you that this was, Christy Nome here is wrong. She was not engaged in domestic terrorism. Best I can tell, she was trying to leave, which is what you should do if you can when ICE shows up.
I want to reiterate first with all of you the facts of what happened today. At 10:25 a.m. Central Time, Immigration and Customs Enforcement were carrying out lawful operations here in Minneapolis. Because of the adverse weather that Minneapolis has seen in recent snow, one of the vehicles became stuck and ensnared in the snow. Law enforcement were attempting to push out this vehicle, and when a mob of agitators that were harassing them all day began blocking them in.
They were probably laughing at you. All the Minneapolis people are like, what, you can't drive a 4-wheel drive vehicle in the snow?
Right.
At them and impeding law enforcement operations. ICE officers and agents approached the vehicle of the individual in question, who was blocking the officers in with her vehicle, and she had.
Except that's not true, because you saw cars go around her car.
She was waving them by. She was trying to wave them in front of her to go.
Blocking and impeding their work all throughout the day. ICE agents repeatedly ordered her to get out of the car and to stop obstructing law enforcement.
But they also were yelling at her, move, 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 move. Like, what is going on here? This is the other thing. Like, and cops do this all the time. There was a fucking, somebody posted, they're like, I'm a defense attorney. I can't tell you where I'm at. I can't tell you if I'm private or public defender, but they're like, I've seen so much body cam footage where you get 3 cops there all yelling something fucking, and these are regular cops, but they're all just yelling something different. Drop the gun, turn around, get on the ground. Well, in what order?
You heel toe, do-si-do, what the fuck you want?
I mean, I would drop the gun first if I was.
Yeah.
but who knows what you would do? Like,
but she refused to obey their commands. She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer over. This appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents.
No.
Act of domestic terrorism. The ICE officer, fearing for his life and the other officers around him, and the
dude, so the one vehicle gets stuck in the snow, yet somehow another vehicle does like 0 to 30 miles an hour in 2 turns of the wheel and is fucking barreling forward at this office. Like, get the fuck out of here. There was snow on the ground, even with like traction control and shit. That was like a Honda Pilot. How fucking fast do you think that Honda Pilot gets to go in 2 turns of the front wheel?
Right.
Fuck, dude.
Safety of the public fired defensive shots. He used his training to save his own life and that of his colleagues. He was treated at a local hospital, has been released, and is now with family.
No, he got in his car and he left.
Yeah, but why are they like? Come on, why are they telling such an obvious lie? I guess they have to
because
Daddy
they're
Trump
fucking
said that.
stupid, Dave. They're fucking stupid people. They're like legitimately, actually, truthfully stupid fucking people who think that they're smarter than other people.
I think it's just like, but the thing is, you go like it's not so much on Twitter. Actually, I'm kind of surprised that the people on Twitter aren't doing it. But you go into like a Facebook group, one of them groups like where it's about your town, and people are talking about it. They're like, she ran him over, and I'm like, bitch, the video, she didn't run anybody over. Like they just all because they were told to fucking say that. But it doesn't matter, right? Because as soon as this happened, the disinformation machine, like amplified by like fake accounts and whatnot, it just went into fucking overdrive because it had to. Because there was no way that like that anybody in like the president or anybody is going to release a statement that it goes, well, it looked like this officer sure overreacted. That would have brought the temperature down like a lot. And like, hey, he probably did, maybe he thought she was driving the car at him and he fucking overreacted and we're going to take him off active duty. Like, no, of course not. He got run over. Well, no, he didn't. Like, what the fuck, dude?
We seen it. We saw what happened.
And of course, before having all the facts, the president prejudged it, but it's actually the media. The media is the one prejudging this.
Good afternoon, everybody. Let me be clear. President Trump and his entire administration stand fully behind the heroic men and women of ICE and will always uphold law and order in the United States of America. The deadly incident that took place in Minnesota yesterday occurred as a result of a larger, sinister, left-wing movement that has spread across our country, where our brave men and women of federal law enforcement...
I don't have brain space enough to roll my eyes as largely as I would like to at that fucking woman.
Right, they're trying to build this into like the idea that like Antifa or like any of these basically NGOs and like community organizations, they're all going to claim are funded by Soros, that this is actually like a domestic terror network and not like DSA and like a soup kitchen and like maybe an anarchist punk painter collective. Did you know they were actually trying to get her car unstuck from the snow, and that's why? I'm fucking so glad. Like media analysis on this stuff, it's amazing. Like they were trying to help her.
And they can follow up. I will say, look, I would appreciate everybody saying a prayer for that agent. Look, in the past 6 months, he has been hit twice by a motor vehicle.
Oh, that's not true. That's not true. He fucking reached into one car that was fleeing and fucking wouldn't let go and got himself dragged down the street a little ways. But he could have just let go. And then again, the people like fuck the police, but the police are trained. If don't ever reach into the car until the car is turned off.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they tell you if you're going to be there for more than a couple minutes, they tell you to. In fact, they just tell you to turn your car off anyway.
Yeah.
Which is, again, as long as they don't shoot you or whatever, totally reasonable. Turn your car off. We're going to be here for a few minutes. Like
one time, the first time, it led to over 30 stitches and very serious injuries to his legs. This is a guy who's actually done a very, very important job for the United States of America. He's been assaulted, he's been attacked, he's been injured because of it. He deserves a debt of gratitude, and I think the media prejudging and talking about this guy as if he's a murderer is one of the most disgraceful things I've ever seen from the American media.
Oh, shut up.
Dude, like, listen, don't ever reach into a car that's going to move. And whether or not you're a cop, like, even if you don't fucking get dragged or whatever, you can break your arm, break your wrist, break your hand. Like, don't reach into the fucking car. Anyway, after all this, here's like an eyewitness to the shooting. Homegirl was there, and she went on CNN to talk about it. And they're probably gonna like fucking black bag her next. She's like, just like, look, this is like your neighbor who like invites you over for coffee, and you're like, you invite her over, and you're like, oh, you want a beer? She's like, I don't drink actually.
What's your response to that version of events?
I mean, that's the only reason why I'm here. I don't think I'm the most articulate person. I don't think that I don't want to be here, but I knew that this would be twisted and it would be self-defense, and that's absolutely not what happened. But it's just my life is forever changed from having witnessed this, and I just can't let this narrative that it was self-defense go any further, because it's absolutely not what it was. And yeah, my neighborhood, my neighbors, we're all going to be pretty traumatized from this for a long time.
When in that video that you shared with us that I just played, the 34 seconds, you know, you're obviously incredibly distraught, and there's a doctor next to you or near you. We can, you know, hear him saying, "I'm a physician. I can help," and they say, "No, we have our own medics." But the doctor is there offering to administer CPR, standing right there.
My understanding is CPR wouldn't have done nothing.
Yeah.
But he didn't know that.
I don't want you to have to relive what you were looking at when the horror of her death. But how did agents respond to him? Was there a speed and a desperation in trying to get any sort of assistance to her? Because it didn't sound like that from what you gave us.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him near, and they said they had their own medics that were on their way, which it was, I mean, I don't know, it was at least 15 minutes before the ambulance arrived, and then the ambulance couldn't even get through because the ICE agents had all abandoned their vehicles in the road, so the ambulance couldn't get through. So they parked at the end of the block, and about 5 paramedics came in and examined her for, I didn't see this, but they were with her for a few minutes, and then they carried her limp body away by her limbs, not even on a stretcher. Just carried her down to the end of the block where they could get a stretcher because they couldn't get through with their ambulance.
Yeah, I did see people on Twitter going, this isn't the movies, this and that. They don't ever ask, is there a doctor in the house? I'm like, that is like literally, if that person has any relevant experience as a physician, it is like their responsibility, not legal, but like ethical responsibility to administer aid in a crisis situation like that. Actually, part, like somebody said in chat, that's like they are trained. That is part of the training of, if they were a fucking nurse, an EMT, a paramedic, any of those people, they are all trained. That if an emergency happens, it is your responsibility. Now, obviously, you can't always do that, right? Like, what if the ICE aide, what was he going to do? Be like, well, I'm going to do it anyway, and then get himself shot? Like, obviously, like, which I don't know, maybe they would have. I don't know. You're disturbing a crime scene, right? So, a homegirl also went on MS Now, which I'm having such a hard time not calling it MSNBC, but whatever. It's MS Now. And here's another clip. It's probably going to be a lot of the same stuff, but we'll run it anyway.
I came out onto my front porch, and there was a woman who was a protester. She was blocking traffic with her car. She was parked perpendicularly, so the like convoy, there was probably 6 or 7 ICE vehicles. So she had blocked the traffic so they couldn't get through. And
I don't think there was room to get by like in front of her, though. Another car went. Oh, but it was before she backed up, and then another car went.
And ICE was.
We don't have a lot of this video.
And, they got really aggressive and went over to her driver's side door and tried to open her door. And then she obviously got spooked and started to reverse. And then an officer approached her and leaned across, like got in front of her vehicle, and then leaned across the hood of her car and shot her point blank in the face. It was 3 or 4 shots, and then her foot just went all the way down on the gas, and she tried to escape, and then hit a telephone pole and crashed into some cars. There was only, I feel like there were only like 10 protesters or so. And then, but there were a lot of ICE agents. There were, like I said, like 6 or 7 vehicles, and they all had multiple officers in them. So it was dispersed, but it was extremely chaotic. It didn't seem like the ICE agents knew what they were doing. There was no plan. There was no, they didn't have a plan. They just, they seemed totally unprepared.
Oh, real quick on Twitter, people were like fucking investigating this, going, what's she doing in a sound studio? I'm like, she's probably at like a studio in Minneapolis for like a local TV station or whatever, in a place where there's a microphone, maybe a local radio station let her use their studio. They're like, oh, she's a paid agitator. Look at this is what she's got at her house. I'm like, well, what?
Oh, I'm a paid agitator. Look at what I have in my house.
Yeah, maybe she has a podcast, but that's a lot of gear for a fucking podcast. I'm not looking at part numbers. Can you sell it on eBay?
You could clearly see her slumped over in the car. This neighbor was yelling, I'm a physician. Can I take vitals? Can I get a heartbeat? Like, can I please come administer CPR? And they were saying, no, get back. We don't care. And they said they had medics on their way, which took about 15 minutes of her just sitting there. I mean, I assume deceased that whole time, but no life-saving measures were even attempted.
The Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security and the President both characterized this as an attack, a domestic terrorist attack, a ramming attack, an attempt to kill or run over ICE agents. You were there and you saw it. What do you think of that characterization?
That's the only reason why I'm here. I don't think I have the best words right now. I'd prefer to not do this, but I knew after witnessing it that this would be misconstrued into self-defense, which it absolutely is not. This was totally preventable and absolutely unnecessary.
Yep. But unfortunately, Emily Heller's probably next. But they fucking radicalized. I think that was like a regular suburban ass neighborhood. I think they probably radicalized that whole fucking neighborhood now.
Yep.
So the wheels of power are already moving to restrict access to information from like the FBI and the DOJ specifically about this. This is from the U.S. House of Representatives.
My motion to subpoena is pretty straightforward. Earlier today, a woman was shot multiple times and killed by immigration enforcement agents in Minnesota while we were holding a hearing on the state. And while there are claims that ICE did nothing wrong, the officials in Minnesota say otherwise. And since this committee is responsible for oversight of federal law enforcement, we must investigate. This subpoena will help us get to the truth, and it should have bipartisan support. And I urge my colleagues to vote yes.
It is a tie, so the motion fails. Does any other member have any business before the committee?
Fuck you.
Without objection, the committee stands adjourned.
You know, like, we're not even going to look into this. The wheels are already turning to restrict access to information. Like they put out the I don't know if it was his cell phone or a body cam they put out, but I was trying to explain to people, I'm like, they put this out because it's like shaky cam essentially, so it like makes everything look more chaotic than it was, right?
Yeah, that was the cell phone video where after he shot her 3 times in the face, he called her a fucking bitch.
And not for nothing, at the point where people were saying he got hit by the vehicle, the phone, he had pointed it up. Right, it was pointed at the sky, so we don't know if the vehicle made contact with him or whatever. Like, I'm not trying to fucking litigate this. Like, I think everybody like is tired of that, but like,
right?
They put that out specifically because of like is cinematicism a word? Like, because cinematically we associate like shaky cam with like dangerous situations, and I think that's why they put that out. Up now, we got Lee McGowan. Her name's Politics Girl on Twitter, and friends. When they back out and she's like making faces when other people are talking, she is not just every woman like as if it was Whitney Houston, but she's just everyone. She's not having any of their bullshit though. Check this out.
Jose, at her was trying to get into her car.
That's my point. You can't do that. Like you
because I watched the video.
Because
you
watched
guys,
the video,
this is insane.
you heard the exact
1
exchange.
hour
You
after
know what
this
happened in
happened,
that split
1
second, but a
hour
police officer
after this happened, the head of
discharges weapons?
DHS
You
went
don't
on
know
TV and lied. She said the officers were trying to get themselves out of a snowbank, and she gunned her car and tried to hit them. Total lie. Then the president went on and said she was a domestic terrorist, and the officer was hit, and he was in the hospital fighting for his life. Total lie. Now we've all seen the video from multiple different angles, and we all know her wheel was turned. They were saying, get the fuck out of here. Then they were saying, get the fuck out of the car. Then she was like, oh my God. And then she turned her wheel to move with her spouse there and her staffed animals in the car. Do not folks me. There is a woman who is dead. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not done with my point. My point is today the vice president. Well, let me tell you on television. I'm not.
Look, they're all talking over. She was like, stop it, stop it, stop it. Every fucking woman who's ever been in this situation in a fucking boys club knows what's happening. And but she's like, what? She doesn't give a fuck, right? Because she's like a Twitter personality. She doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't need to come back on CNN. She's like, stop it, stop it, stop it.
Right. No.
Today, the vice president got on television and doubled down on the lies. He doubled down on the lies, and he called her a deranged leftist. Then Levitt went on TV, the head of the White House speech force, and said that it was a larger, sinister left-wing movement that did this. And now you're sitting here beside me saying she was part of a group in her community that was, I mean, give me a break. A woman was shot 3 times by an officer for no reason. And you are sitting here defending it like we're not talking about humanity. Let me let Lance respond.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. She's part of a group in her community now. I guess you're not allowed to do that. No Tupperware parties.
Yeah, no group in your community.
They're not going to outlaw the homeowners association though, that's for sure.
No.
Man, this is all insane. Like, and it's just watching people try to, like, on the media, like, just trying to talk sense to other people about this has been like the most frustrating part, right? Like the media analysis part of this is almost, it's like, because the video is just the video, right? You see the video, it's horrible. You don't see like a lot of blood and gore or whatever, like, thankfully, because that would have been even worse. But the frustrating part is just watching, like, and not for nothing, it's a lot of times we're like watching women to try to talk sense to people about this.
Right.
And speaking of that, here's Jessica Tarlov on the fucking 5, trying to talk sense to these fucking people. And I don't know. This is insane.
But the footage contradicts the administration on almost every level of what they've said. Renee Good waving the vehicle by. The officer was to the side of the car when he drew the gun. He leaned over the hood for the first shot. You can see that on the angle too. That he fired 2 more shots at arm's length on a 90-degree angle. And it almost doesn't matter, actually, what she was doing because she didn't have another weapon. According to DOJ policy, which they should be in compliance with, it says deadly force may not be used solely to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect. Firearms must be discharged at a moving vehicle unless a person is threatening deadly force by other means than the vehicle, and no other means of defense exist, including moving out of the path. He could clearly move out of the path because he did, and that's why he was unscathed in this. I don't know why it wasn't good enough for Secretary Noem or the president or the vice president to say,
well, because it doesn't fit the narrative, but that's obvious.
Investigate this. And not only do we need to investigate it, we need the FBI to work with local officials on the ground in Minnesota, which apparently they do not want to do. And Governor Walz was talking about that as well. That would have been the responsible thing to do here. And talking as if there is no potential that this officer is at fault with what happened feels like you're getting a little bit ahead of your skis, especially when there is so much footage that contradicts the story that the administration is giving.
Oh, I wonder what they were. They probably all yelled at her afterward and called her a domestic terrorist. So this one's going to be interesting. This is the former governor of Minnesota. This is Jesse Ventura, also known as Jesse the Body Ventura, who like believes in chemtrails and shit. Definitely believes in chemtrails, but also has the right take here because this is the kind of stuff that he's generally like really good on, like abusive force by the police. He's generally really good on this stuff. He's crazy though, but anyway.
You want to know something?
I'll give you a quote. We're a third world country now. You want to know why? I'm an expert. I've been to them. I spent 17 months in Southeast Asia while the draft dodger was playing golf. Right? You know how I know we're a third world country? Because in third world countries, they have the military doing their police work in the cities when you walk around. I was in the Philippines the day Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law and went under dictatorship. We went from nobody to a guy with a machine gun on every corner. That's what happens in a dictatorship. In comes the military. That's what's happening here. And people better wake up to it. You want to read something? Then read your history of Germany and start comparing the tactics of what happened in 1930s Germany to what's happening here. Read history. You learn from history. Anytime you have the loss of life that it needlessly happens, that's tragedy. And what occurred yesterday did not have to happen.
So the dude's crazy. Oh, go ahead.
Learning history's too woke, Dave.
Yeah, the dude's crazy and believes in chemtrails and shit, but he's good on this police action stuff. I don't know if he was like, oh, I know what a third world country is. I was in Asia. It's like, dude, you don't really have to say that. Everybody knows that you used to be in the military and that you probably embellish your military service or whatever. But anyway, I don't know. This is from Newsmax. We had like one like reasonable-ish take, and now we're gonna go to Newsmax where we're not gonna get a reasonable take because you're not gonna believe what this fucking person on Newsmax says that happened here.
God,
it's just the most absurd lie. Check this out.
And just one more comment on this. Classic law enforcement moment. They have to fire their weapon, and then when you see her car crash, law enforcement is running to her to provide aid. They're never...
Oh, that's the fucking biggest fucking piece. Are you fucking kidding me?
Like, just fucking say anything, man. Just fucking say anything, James Langford.
Fucking lie. Just say the biggest lie you could think and get the fuck out of here.
I know it's not funny, but what else are we supposed to do?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You gonna sit here and you're gonna fucking just laugh at it, or you're gonna fucking curl up in the fetal position and just cuss the world out for the next 42 hours?
Fucking the name of the show tonight is actually Laugh Now, Cry Later. Like, so up next we got fucking Jesse Waters.
Because of course we do.
He's going to talk about her marriage like he didn't like leave his fucking wife for an employee half his age or fucking something. I forget what he like left his wife for like his fucking assistant or whatever, but like don't worry, he's going to talk about this other lady's fucking marriage. Oh man.
Exactly. Oh man.
This is a woman who was in severe crisis. She lived a very sad and very chaotic life. She was divorced from her first husband and lost custody of her 2 kids. Another husband, she lost him. Then she gets involved with a female partner. They flee the country to Canada after the last election. They come back to Minneapolis from out of town.
They flee the country. Dude, they probably like, I don't know anything about this, right? But maybe her fucking girlfriend, or I don't know if she married this woman or whatever, her partner, maybe her partner's got people up in Canada and they just went up to Canada.
Yeah.
Another person, like people were like, oh, she fucking fled Alabama or Missouri or whatever for Minneapolis. And I'm like, I saw that on Twitter and people were reposting and I'm like, how dare somebody move? The fucking
when we
nerve.
moved, we fled. I fled the Bay Area for the fucking Central Valley, Dave.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but this all happened right before. I don't know. I'm going to make everybody cry here. This happened right before Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Oh no! Right in front of my Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Right before it.
All of this, I want to get your reaction to the shooting in Minneapolis. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, that is absolutely terrible. Friday is actually Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, and we should really celebrate what our law enforcement officers do to keep us safe and, in fact, attacking them.
What is going on with the noise gate on this guy's show? Do you hear it pumping like that?
Yeah, no, I hear it.
It's something that we are fighting here in the Senate.
Of course I do. You have ruined me for audio quality.
And co-sponsor the Thin Blue Line Act, which would increase the penalties for people who assault our cops. We're trying to discourage this sort of anti-cop behavior. Our law enforcement officers keep us safe, and it is really discouraging to see these kind of attacks on law enforcement.
Happened right before Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. The fucked up part is, like, across the country, you have like chiefs of police coming out and like saying, "Listen, we'll shoot your dog, but not like this." like I know that's fucked up, but like, no, dude. Anyway, here's a swimmer, Riley Gaines. I don't know if you know who she is. She was tied for 5th place in a swimming competition, and the person I think that she tied with was a trans person. So she would have got the gold medal otherwise. But wait a minute, no, that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, but she went on Fox News to complain that she tied with a trans person at a swim meet, and she's just gonna complain about. I hate when people do this. They're like, "Oh, comedy shouldn't be political." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Comedy is always political. Back in the day, the jester was the only one who was able to actually make fun of the king and possibly not get their head cut off.
Yeah, sometimes they did anyway.
Yeah, the joke was too good or not good enough.
Yeah.
And that was a fine line, right? It wasn't like there was the joke's not good enough and you get your head cut off, and there's like a space between where the joke is just good. Anyway, it's a weird calculus, and I'm sure it varied king by king. But here's her talking about how comedians shouldn't talk about politics.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, Sean, you said it. It's not comedy. It's celebrity activism.
What?
That is nothing new here. And so here's my message to those comedians. Why don't you get out of our country? We live in the United States of America. And if they can't remember, we recently had...
Why don't you get the fuck out of the country?
The side of
maybe you could swim to another country. I heard you got 5th place.
The side of law and order.
It'll take her a lot longer, Dave.
And we won largely on the fact that President Trump promised to get illegal aliens out of this country and keep them out. It's a safe bet that 77 million of us do not want illegal immigrants here. We don't want thieving Somalians here. We don't want our funds, taxpayer funds, our dollars being fraudulently spent here. We don't want treasonous mayors or governors or elected officials here. So Jimmy Kimmel, why don't you take your show, your low-rated show, and your corny t-shirts that you made, and why don't you get out of our country?
Donald Trump must have promised to date her in 5 years or something.
Or he was just like, "You look like Ivanka," and she was like, "Oh." So, like,
I love the first lady.
These late night shows, the notable exception for the most part, and the famous one is Carson, right? And he like avoided politics, like on his show, but like he's the last one that ever did. Like Jay Leno tried to avoid politics, kind of, but everybody knew Jay Leno was a Republican. But now he's a lib because he's like, "Well, this shit's crazy, and I just want to collect my expensive cars and maybe not have to fucking deal with this," because he went on Bill Maher, and I was like, "This is going to be a nightmare," and he kept pushing back. He's like, "I don't know why we're being so mean about this." He was talking about the trans people. He's like, "I don't know why we're being so mean about trans people. Seems kind of dumb to me." But like Letterman was super political. Fucking like Colbert came out of like a political satire show to do his show. Like late night and comedy has always been political.
Yeah.
These people would probably like George Carlin wouldn't fucking blah, but I'm like, you think George Carlin wouldn't have some fucking shit to say about this, man? Oh my God.
George Carlin would have had like whole hour segments dedicated to just one fucking thing.
Yeah, he was a political guy. He was a leftist political comedian. This is dumb. Oh, you know what's great actually? So I don't know if you know this, like actual neo-Nazis are now showing up at the fucking protests to tell the protesters that the storm is here. Which is, I don't know where that's from.
Oh, I never heard that before.
This is the storm?
The storm? This is it?
Here. When we come, one, we go all. No one.
Oh, hell to the no.
Get here, guys. We need you in Minnesota. These people are fucking terrorists.
Patriots, get out here. We need the backup. And all you liberal commie motherfuckers, keep your hands to yourself. You're gonna get hurt today, all right? We executed one of you yesterday.
Please tell me that this video game ends with him being punched.
We
one of you yesterday. You understand that? They executed one of you yesterday.
Don't give them a press. You're just talking to white supremacists.
You guys keep playing stupid games. Keep getting stupid prizes. Okay? You guys keep playing stupid games. You're gonna keep getting stupid prizes.
Did you notice he said to back up, and like they were fucking like the ICE were working for him, and they like backed up when he like motioned for them, like that they're working for this guy or something. That was I mean, the whole thing's crazy. This guy's like, where we go one, we go all. Friend, you were stuck in 2020. But
No
also,
shit.
like he said, we executed one of you today. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, man. Oh, dude. Oh, so this is great. Now we're moving on to we're not going to do too much on the protests. I do encourage people to check out the Woke channel and Ford Fisher News to Share. A big help to us, actually, on our Jacob Wool video is out there, too. I do encourage you to watch some of that, but this is great. This is great. One of the fucking Fox people is out there trying to talk to the fucking protester, and the protester's like, "Oh, I'm on Fox News, you say?"
Let me ask you, have you spoken to any people, or can you speak to anybody that's marching right now and ask them what it is that they're marching about?
Yeah. Excuse me. Can you tell us, what are you here marching for?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, my ears are ringing a lot, so I don't know if I'll hear perfectly. But, yeah, I'm just here because I think it's absolutely disgusting what ICE is doing here. I think it's absolutely abhorrent that they're kidnapping people. I'm disgusted that they murdered an innocent human being. And, yeah, the entire thing just absolutely abhors me. This has to stop immediately. What we're seeing right now is frankly an ethnic cleansing. It's disgusting.
Hey, Garrett.
And it needs to stop.
Hannity's like, "Hey, man, you can't let this guy talk like that on my show."
I'm glad that there's so many people out here trying to stop this because it's just abhorrent and we need to stick together to stop this.
Does he have a concern that the woman was driving her car at an officer? Does it concern this individual?
When you saw this video that is out, did you have any concern that it looked like this woman may have been driving her vehicle at the officer?
That's not what it looked like to me at all. And I mean, like, even if you did assume that was the case, which it absolutely is not, we are supposed to train officers to be responsible in these situations and judge the situation objectively, look at it reasonably. Like, there just absolutely is no justification for this. But again, looking at the video from both angles, I know that there was another clip that came out earlier today from like a different angle. You can very clearly tell that she is evacuating the scene. There is like absolutely no evidence that there's like any like attempt to drive the vehicle into the officers.
Garrett, last question. What should we do with people that don't obey our laws and come into the country illegally?
This is great. They're trying. This young man is like spitting bars at them, and they're like, "What should we do about people that break the law, young man?"
What do you think we should do with people that have come into the country illegally who are here, is the question.
I think they have the right to be here, frankly. I mean, that's just my opinion, but I think they have the right to be here. I think that's just a basic human right is freedom of movement. We recognize that in the United Nations Charter. That, in my opinion, is just a fundamental human right that all nations ought to recognize. And I'm glad that some people are standing up for that basic human right.
And what's your instrument of choice?
Instrument of choice? I just found a bell in a bag. Someone was handing out free stuff, so there we go.
Oh man, they found like the fucking nicest fucking well-spoken guy in the world at the protest. He's like, I don't know, I'm here with a bell. Oh man, that's great. They were like expecting. Oh man, they I don't know. And he was like, well, what do you do about people that break the law? All right, so we covered last week the deterioration of the CBS news under the care of Bari Weiss, who famously wrote the Renegades of the Intellectual Dark Web and made all those freaks stand in front of that plant like with some smoke like it was the X-Files. Anyway, she's running CBS News now, and she has her new anchor, I guess, for CBS News, and he has one last thought on all of this before we move on to something funnier. But this is also dumb. This is also just incredibly dumb. Check this out.
There is so much to say about the last 24 hours, but sometimes...
But now that I work for Bari Weiss, I'm not going to say any of it.
Yeah, why?
Is what is yet to be said at all, and what we all still need to hear.
Did you hear this? This is absolutely fucking podcast brain, dude.
There's so much to say about the last 24 hours, but sometimes what matters most is what is yet to be said at all, and what we all still need to hear.
No.
What we need to hear is, isn't it great that we're having this conversation?
Fucking, yeah, it was fucking, this man is not Walter Cronkite.
All seen the videos. Renee Good is alive in those videos, behind the wheel of her SUV, her 3 children expecting mom home again soon. And we've seen the freeze frames too. We've heard the political warfare, the clashing declarations about what happened. And unfortunately, we know the ending for Renee Good. Nothing is going to change that. Yet what we have not yet heard is one another. I spoke to people today who haven't slept since it happened, who want ICE out now, who don't like masked men on their streets, don't want their neighbors arrested, don't want families ripped apart. I've heard.
But don't worry, I'm not actually going to show you any of that footage.
No.
Too, not on the streets protesting, but in passionate notes in my inbox from people who want to see our immigration laws enforced legally and peacefully and with safety for all, including the officers who in many cases are also parents themselves. These are both deeply American sentiments. But our job now is maybe the most American thing of all. It's to find a way to live with people who are genuinely different from us.
But we're deporting them.
To try to be fair to them, and in doing so, to make things better and keep things decent. Because in America, no one else is going to do it for us. It's not my job to tell you what to think about what happened here yesterday, but I can tell you we owe our children a nation that is better than the one we live in today. And I can say that because we all know it's true.
This is such fucking garbage. This is the fucking station of Dan Rather. This is the station of Walter Cronkite. This is the 60 Minutes station. Like, this is like legacy media that had a great reputation, and now they've got this guy going, I don't know. Here's what ChatGPT told me to say to calm everybody's nerves.
And can't we all just get along?
So here's actually, we're moving on now from this stuff. Here's a clip from his first broadcast. He's a fucking the best anchor. He's the most competent. Glad Bari Weiss picked him. Check this out. This is like me trying to deal with breaking news, but I am doing it by myself. Watch.
Atmosphere. With Maduro now out, that base of power and influence could be out too. All right, to other news, as you just heard from Jill. Well, to other news now, to Governor Walz. No, we're going to do Mark Kelly. First day, big problems here. Are we going to Kelly here, or are we going to go to Jonah?
All the old white guys look the same.
We're doing Mark Kelly, possibly demoted from his retired rank of captain in the Navy. Hegseth issued what's known as a letter of censure for the Arizona Democrat over his participation.
He looks like a cartoon villain.
That called on service members to defy illegal orders without specifying which orders he had in mind. Hegseth.
Well, that's because he doesn't know what illegal orders might be. Fucking, kidnap the leader of another country, maybe.
Called what the former combat pilot and astronaut did an act of sedition. Now we go to Minnesota. A surprise announcement from the Great Lake State there today. Tim Walz, the 2024 Democratic vice presidential nominee.
Man, on your first day, that just shows that he didn't prepare and talk to the fucking crew, right? He didn't know the order of the stories. You would, on your first day, you'd be like, listen, I know I'm probably being a little bit annoying, but I want to go over the order of the stories with everybody once again. And I don't know, print it out. Like, I have a docket.
You actually use paper.
Well, it's, don't want people to think I'm a fucking environmentalist. I might get put on a fucking list. All right. Well, there's that guy. Things are going great over at Bari Weiss's CBS. So what we have now, we have a palate cleanser. Because we need a palate cleanser. I found this independently, but then Allie Drew also put it on the up in the Discord. So this is there's 2 votes for this palate cleanser. This is well, you'll have to see it. It's great.
An ungovernable swan in Belgium has been arrested for the 8th time in 7 days. The 5-year-old troublemaker from Bruges keeps abandoning his canal to embark on quests around the city. The city has been known for—
Let him fucking quest around the city.
Take their swan care incredibly seriously, so the street swan has been keeping local authorities very busy. He's made his way—
Y'all don't know a rogue druid when you see one.
Blocking traffic, and even wandered into a museum lobby. Every time he's scooped up and brought back to the canal, he's back out on the town the next morning as if nothing happened. Nobody is quite sure why the street swan keeps ditching canal life for urban exploration, but it's possible he was being run off by nesting swans, or he just desired some peace and quiet. Unfortunately, the city center isn't exactly the ideal spot for a swan seeking tranquility. Dodging
a bus
and crowds is dangerous enough, but after making headlines,
he was on a bus.
Started chasing him down for selfies, which was definitely not helping his search for solitude. So after his 8th arrest,
maybe he was there for the selfies. Yeah, maybe he's there for the gram.
Put the street swan on house arrest in a special swan holding area.
Wait, you threw them? What?
You threw the bird in jail.
Free him. He did nothing wrong. Free him.
Birds, where he can finally relax away from the paparazzi. He's in perfect health, and he'll soon be relocated to a quieter swan location within the city, where he'll—
Wait, what? You're deporting him?
Yeah, they fucking kidnapped him, and now they're gonna deport him. He's like the Maduro of swans.
Leave the fucking swan. I don't know. What, he's walking around the city? Well, he fucking lives there. He gets hit by a car or whatever. Oh, wait, this is in Belgium? Everybody's riding their bike.
Embrace a peaceful retirement.
Wearing wooden shoes and eating fucking chocolate and shit.
Wanted.
Like, free, I thought that was like, free the swan. Like, let him walk around the city. He knows the risks. We're outside of the main story of the week, but that doesn't mean that we've escaped the president of the United States. This is randomly fucking gonna complain about fucking wind power.
No person. I can proudly say, Doug, that we have not approved one windmill since I've been in office, and we're going to keep it that way. My goal is to not let any windmill be built. They're losers. They lose money. They destroy your landscape. They kill your birds. They're all made in China. And
they give you cancer.
Just about all of the windmills are made in China, the structures. All you have to do is say to China, how many windmill areas do you have in China?
Oh, they have a lot. They have a lot.
And so far, they're not able to find any. They use coal and they use oil and gas and some nuclear, not much, but they don't have windmills. They make them and sell them to suckers like Europe and suckers like the United States before. They are the worst form of energy, the most expensive form of energy, and in 8 years, they're rotted out anyway. Go take a look at Palm Springs, California, and take a look at what that looks like. It looks like a junkyard.
Dude, wait a minute. That's before all the old lesbians moved to Sacramento and all the old gays moved to fucking Palm Springs. The old gays, the tired old queens are keeping that place plenty. It looks like a junkyard. He's just saying there's windmills somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Junkyard of steel. So we don't approve, and I've told my people, we will not approve windmills. Maybe we get forced to do something.
But I bet he loves oil fields.
The Biden administration agreed to do something years ago. We will not approve any windmills in this country.
I think he's mostly mad that they put windmills by his golf course in Scotland, right?
Did they? I don't know. Did they?
I think that's what he's mad about. I think that's what's going on here.
I think he's mad about the Fountain Wind project.
Oh man, those people are super excited now because anyway, we will more Shasta lore maybe during red light
someday.
Anyway, could you imagine if you would that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez does not want to go on Jesse Waters' show?
No, I'm not surprised at all. I think she should though, because she could really, really make him not want to ever invite her again.
Would you join him?
He accused me of, he has sexualized me on his show. He has sexually harassed me on his show. He has engaged in horrific, sexually exploitative
That's
rhetoric.
not true, Congresswoman.
It is true. It is true because he accused me of wanting to quote unquote sleep with Stephen Miller. So why don't you tell me what you think is acceptable to tell a woman? Thank you.
Ew. He said she wanted to sleep. That's fucking, you know what? I mean, I'll put up with a lot of shit, but saying that I'd be fucking fuming if somebody was like, you want to sleep with Stephen Miller? I'd be like, I do not make me throw up on the air.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking, no Pee Wee German for me. Thank you.
Oh my God. I mean, like, yeah, I'm sure he said a bunch of nasty shit about her, but that's crossing the line, dude. That's fucking gross.
Gross.
Here's more Waters. This is this isn't Waters' crew. This is Waters talking to fucking Guy Liner, the vice president. Did you know that the Somalis are actually the ones preventing us from making more white babies? You see a Somali and you just become infertile. I don't make the rules.
Yeah.
The trick to reinvigorating the American dream. That's what the president's most focused on, and we're going to do it.
Are young Americans getting married? Are they settling down, having babies?
Not like they used to, and that's a big problem, Jesse. I mean, think about it. What really makes life worthwhile? It's not your job. It's not what school you went to. It's falling in love. It's building a family. It's having kids. Those are the things that I think really bring meaning to most people's lives. Certainly to mine. I imagine yours too.
Don't talk to Jesse. You should ask more about that, actually.
Crazy person, but I think you're a Republican. but that is happening less. Mm-hmm. And part of the reason it's happening less is what happened to housing under Joe Biden. It literally doubled in 4 years.
Joe Biden's not the president right now.
Also, the price of housing didn't double in 4 years. This apartment was not fucking $600 in 2000.
They can't afford to buy a home. They can't afford to start a family. They can't afford daycare because Somali fraudsters are ripping off the money that we're trying to put into the system to help people afford childcare. We've got to do a better job of giving young Americans a shot at the American dream. I think that we've made so much progress over the past year, but look, we're digging out of a massive hole that Joe Biden left us. There's so much more work to do, and we're excited to get it done.
Oh, man. Like, I don't think like people anywhere in the country are like, sweetie, do you want to have a baby? And they're like, I don't want to do it right now while the Somalis are doing a fraud in Minnesota. Like nobody in fucking Poughkeepsie or whatever is like thinking about that, right?
No.
Oh, do you know the GOP, they have a healthcare plan? I don't know if you know about this. I don't know if you've been following this. You know what the healthcare plan is?
No.
That's okay. Fucking Rick Scott doesn't quite know either.
Pray the disease away.
Didn't Rick Scott do some fucking kind of like medical fucking fraud himself? I forget what it was. I think it was some kind of medical insurance fraud that he was a party to. Anyway, that's unfair. That's unfair. It's all in the past.
Well, what do you think about that? I know that the president has been urging flexibility on funding limits for Obamacare plans covering abortion as well. Senator, you say More Affordable Care Act aims to put patients over big insurance. What is the GOP's plans in terms of health care?
Are you ready for him to not answer the question?
Yeah, I guess.
We care about people getting health care. I grew up in public housing. I know the difficulty of getting health care. I watched my mom struggle to get my brother health care because she didn't have insurance and couldn't afford to pay for it. She finally found a charity hospital 4 hours away. So the way to do this is we got to let the patient-doctor relationship make these decisions. So if we're going to subsidize, which we should subsidize people that need health care that can't afford it, it ought to go in the form of a health savings account. Let them buy the insurance they want or direct health care. Many times you could buy it way cheaper by just going directly to a doctor or directly to a hospital, or directly to a surgery center, rather than going through the insurance product. Let them take the money we're going to give them. Let them buy their own insurance. Let them buy across state lines. Let them
eat cake.
They want instead of what federal government wants to tell them they have to buy or some big insurance company wants to tell them. And we got to tell them what things cost. The providers have to tell people what things are going to cost. So the president's on the right track. I've got a bill to do this. Chairman Pfluger in the House has the companion bill. I'm very hopeful that we can get this done this year.
Well,
it's like he went from you should just negotiate directly with the doctor to like, I don't know, you should just go buy your own insurance. Well, motherfucker, that's what people, the second one is what people are doing already. They're buying their own fucking insurance. Like,
do they have to rebury him every night, or does he just like walk around in the dirt from his homeland?
This is also stupid because the fucking like the other, that if only the other countries had figured this out and we could like base our system on the system of other countries. If only.
Oh, it's one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse that Oprah unleashed upon the world. Great.
God, yeah. Fuck Oprah. Fuck Oprah, man. If she runs in the Democratic primary, I don't know. I'm the fucking Team Gavin. If she runs in the Democratic Party, I'm like, let's go, Gordon. Like, anyway, here's Dr. Oz. He's going to just, I don't know, because he doesn't like what's going on in Minnesota. He's just going to be like, oh, are you on Medicaid? Well, now you're not.
Joins us now. Dr. Oz, I saw your announcement late last night and I was talking out loud. I was saying hallelujah. But how deep is the rot in Minnesota and other places like California and Illinois, where I know that you've already withheld $1.3 billion from just those 3 states?
Well, sticking to the narrative that is cold in Minnesota, this is the tip of the iceberg.
There's no icebergs in Minnesota.
No.
And that's not like a thing that they say in Minnesota. I mean, I'm sure somebody says that in Minnesota, but that's not a Minnesotaism. I swear that's not a fucking Minnesotaism. Oh, God. So this is all kind of based around these videos or whatever that these people are doing at these daycare centers, right? So I have a video. It's from like a Ring doorbell or whatever at a daycare center, and I have no idea why these people here that you're going to see weren't allowed into the daycare center to like go look at the children, which is like what you do, right? That's what a daycare center is. It's so that random chuds can go child viewing. Yeah,
it's like a child zoo where you just go and like, oh, isn't that one cute?
So this is all like protocol that's happening here, right? You don't let people in. Other people's children are there. And so security, you don't want the place to feel like a prison or whatever, but security is important at a daycare center. You need a fucking appointment. You need a good reason to be there. And otherwise they don't let you in. And if you look at this video, these people did everybody the favor of parking their chud ass truck right in the fucking shot of the fucking Ring doorbell, so that the fucking people that are working there, they're like, oh, I bet I know what this is about. So here we go. I don't know why they're not letting these people in. They seem nice. Look.
You want to go with that instead of...
Hello? Housekeeping? I got mint for pillow. Where's the door, shithead? This door's bulletproof. Probably getting ready to find out. Actually, they can't chunk a spear through this thing, can they? I should have said that. I should.
Oh yeah, I wonder why they don't let these people in.
Oh my God.
You seem nice. You're not supposed to let anybody into the fucking daycare center. This is like, yo, imagine if like a drag queen went and was like, I want to look at the children. Or just like a lesbian, like just a lesbian, right? Like if anybody, these same people, the QAnon people are like, why aren't you letting them fucking strangers see the kids? And it's like, dude, you can't actually, right?
Because we don't want you to steal them and then tunnel them to the Getty.
Right. Or just any number, like you just don't want, like you drop the daycare center, you check like references and make sure it's a good place. And I don't think a lot of people are thinking about the security of their daycare center. But I've in Minneapolis now, people sure as fuck are thinking about the security at the daycare center. And like you just can't get in. They don't let you in. You're a nice lady. You don't pose any risk to the kids. Do you think if you go knock on the door at a daycare center, they're going to let you in and go talk to the kids? Fuck no. Yeah, it's not a place for random visitors. Same as like you're not supposed to be on a fucking school campus unless you have business there.
Exactly.
College is different. You can walk across a college campus, but you're not supposed to be on the fucking school campus. So here's this fucking, what's his name? Fucking something Shirley. I forget his first name already. It doesn't fucking matter. Here's the guy that started all this by going to these. He went with like 8 people and a camera crew. Was like, why aren't you letting me into your daycare center? I forget the guy. Is it Nick Shirley? I think it's Nick Shirley. So he's like a bit of a right-wing star now. This is great. They came after me. They're trying to kill me. They're coming after me. Are they trying to kill him? No. Here's what they did.
I actually never even gave my opinions on the internet. However, my hand was forced to start giving my opinions because they came after me. They came after my family. They doxed my entire family.
How did they come after you? Be specific.
Well, they tried to come after me. They tried to debunk all my whole entire story. They then
Who's they?
All the news.
Would you just get more
CNN.
specific? CNN. Who within CNN?
CBS.
Who's the reporter?
I don't even know her name because she's irrelevant. Nobody knows who she is.
They came after they tried to debunk my whole story. It's like the fucking Cuban Missile Crisis. But they just fucking try. I don't know. Yeah, that's their job. To debunk his story. God. All right, here's a MAGA flea market in Tennessee.
Oh, God.
I don't know who, I think maybe Curiouser posted this. I don't know. But here, check this out.
Come with me to a Christian nationalist Bible Belt flea market. You can get all the shirts you want. Thug life, don't talk to me about pronouns, and you can sleep in some comfortable sheets. You can get all kinds of cool hats. Jesus is my boss, man of faith, and don't ask me shit. Check out this Trump thing, and then we are Charlie Cook. Oh, look, Trump on a stump. Jesus is Lord Christ, my favorite. Look, women for Trump, cool. What did you think the FBI stood for? You can buy this really cool wallet for when Trump gets put on money. White privilege doesn't exist, but you can put this on your car. Outside, they have these Trump rubber duckies. Put those in your bath to own the libs. And right underneath them, WWJD bracelets. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. More really cool shirts to punch down on those who are marginalized. I would have bought this flag, but it doesn't say 2028 on it. They have all these really cool hats to show how terrible you are, and on the other side, you can show people how much you love Jesus. Don't play with me. I'm just a regular mom trying not to raise liberals. Oh, look at this. A godly, and Confederate flag. That fits in. If you want to show your golfing buddies how much you hate immigrants, there you go. If you don't love Jesus and Trump, you're just not American. Look at these flags. Trump won. Let's go, Brandon. And then...
Oh, that's old stock. They better be doing 2 for 1 or 3 for 1 on the Let's Go Brandon flag.
Right.
There's the faith. I don't care what they say. You don't have to give up or guts. God, family, country. The only 3 things you need. Then we stopped and had a quick bite to eat before we ventured into the other part of the flea market. Check out this funny little baby doll right next to this kiss. Yes. Look, more flags.
Oh no! Oh, that flag that with the fucking blue and the cross. That's like a straight up like Christian nationalist. Like this is like a that might as well be a swastika in like our current state of being.
I bet you wouldn't guess another rebel one. Trump and Elon, they're so silly. Buried amongst these college football hats are Jesus is my savior, Trump is my president. And then, stand for the flag, kneel for the cross, of course. Christian, white, straight, unwoke, unvaxxed gun owner, Trump supporter. We are Charlie Cook. If you got Trump flags on the back of your truck, put these on the front. So many cool things. We are Charlie. Look, a bunch of cute little mini Jesuses, and then Trump says, fuck you. Trump 2028 merch. Look at all this cool stuff. Jesus is my savior. We are Charlie. Ain't gonna get me a Jesus ring. My rights don't end where your feelings begin. Oh, look, godly stuff. Stan, Neil, you know the drill. We love Puerto Rico.
Wait, what? That's weird.
Puerto Rico and Jesus.
Oh, a weed hat?
Yeah, the weed hat was good.
That was but that's just a common hat, right? Like you could get that from some other person.
But I don't know. I've never seen that one.
Oh, it's the red, black, and green or whatever weed hat. It's a Rastafarian thing. Anyway, here is Indiana Lieutenant Governor Mike Beckwith says the founders today would be considered Christian nationalists, which is I really don't care what the founders would be because most of them owned slaves and they all had to like go shit in a hole somewhere. Like they would be very surprised by many things if they were brought back to life today.
What does that look like? Timu Ricky Gervais.
Oh, this guy's we've been covering this guy kind of on the Sunday show, not like regularly, but this guy looks like he's on a podcast, not like he's the lieutenant governor, right? This looks like Matt Walsh's podcast room, like all that wood and shit.
There's no sepia tone globe there. I'm disappointed.
Maybe if they zoom out. I don't know. Is a toy truck in a box count?
if you take the entirety of the founding fathers, and even, not even just the framers of the Constitution or those in the Declaration of Independence, but just the entirety of the multiple hundred founding fathers that we label, you would see that every single one of them.
I don't think multiple hundred founding fathers. I don't think we really think whatever.
A standards would be labeled a far-right Christian nationalist, without a doubt. So our nation was absolutely rooted in Christian values by these men who laid down their life, their liberty, and their sacred honor for you and I.
Right, but they had slaves. I guess the Bible does tell you how to treat your slaves, but yeah, they would be very conservative by today's standards. They probably all hated gay people and shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, times change, baby.
Oh, no.
Oh, this one gets even worse, too. This is RFK Jr. went on Joe Rogan. We would cover more of this, but Joe Rogan's people are awfully litigious. And so we can only cover a small amount of it. Because Joe Rogan, who loves freedom, also doesn't really like it when people do commentary on his content. So we only do small clips. But here's RFK Jr. on his show.
And I feel, honestly, even though I was in the center of it all, I felt very fortunate because I can have no questions about how it actually works, how the system actually works to go against people that are dissenters. I can have no questions because I was in the middle of it. I saw it happen. I saw the CNN thing where they made my face yellow and said I was taking horse medication, which is that to say that and to repeat that over and over again is such a clear indication that they conspired. It's such because it's uniform. It's horse dewormer, uniform. A medication that's used far more often on human beings. It's been prescribed for
billions.
Yeah, it's insane. And the fact that...
Well, we don't know that. Hold on, we don't know because we don't keep fucking medical records of all the horses. So we don't know.
Billions of what?
Ivermectin prescriptions to human beings.
And a billion.
For efficacy in humans.
Yeah, in humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it eradicated river blindness. It's an anti-parasitic. Good.
Wild. It was just wild.
They had to do it. They had to discredit ivermectin because, because there's a federal law. The federal law, the emergency use authorization statute says that you cannot issue an emergency use authorization to a vaccine if there is an existing medication that has been approved for any purpose that is demonstrated effective against the target illness. So they had to destroy ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine and discredit it, and they had to tell everybody it's not effective, because if they had acknowledged that it's effective in anybody, the whole $200 billion vaccine enterprise would have collapsed.
Well, no, these are drug companies. Lie. Yeah, it's just all a lie. This is just all a lie. It's just all bullshit.
It's just lying.
And
why didn't it work on his brain worm then?
So the people were talking about the fact that it was a horse medication, because a lot of people were actually going to the fucking feed shop and getting the tube of fucking horse paste because their doctor the doctor wouldn't fucking prescribe it to them. There were whole videos about how much of it to take and shit. Like it's very dangerous to do that, right? Because you're like trying to dose some little paste out or whatever. Also, it didn't work against COVID. There's no reason to believe it does. It doesn't seem to have efficacy against any virus or bacteria. It's an anti-parasitic. And yeah, it's a miracle drug. There's no more river blindness. It's a miracle. Like it eradicated a horrible disease. But that doesn't mean that it cures something else. This is dumb. It's like, oh, I got a hammer. Why am I not able to fucking put this screw in properly with this hammer? It's like, or I have this great screwdriver. Why is it not? It's a Phillips head. Why am I not able to put this flathead screw in? It's like, well, it's the wrong tool. Anyway, unfortunately, his phone didn't quack at him. Dude, this is amazing. I don't know if you've seen this. Motherfucker's phone started quacking at him during his fucking press conference. Like it was like fucking fronting him off and shit. It's amazing. Love it when your phone tells on you.
I mean, my hope is that we only released these earlier, 2 days earlier. I'm sorry.
Duck is also high in protein. That's an interesting. Duck is a good thing to eat
Or the
quack, 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 quack.
I love the comment that was below this on the Twitter, on the Blue Sky or whatever it was from. Was really, if you need help silencing your phone, then you shouldn't be in charge of vaccine schedules.
Here we go. One last thing from RFK Jr. before we fucking play a song and go into red light, and I finally get that beverage. I thought we were going to go like 3 hours, but we're at about 2 hours 15 here, 2 hours 20. It's supposed to be an hour show. So anyway, here he is on Fox News, sort of lying about some absolutely unenforceable shit that he wants to do vis-a-vis like SNAP and food stamps.
And most people, most type 2 diabetes can lose their diagnoses simply by changing diet. It's much more effective than pharmaceutical drugs or pharmaceutical interventions or medical interventions.
Yeah,
that's not true.
You can't go back and retroactively change your diet 30 years ago either.
No.
The things that we're doing is Brooke Rollins is requiring that any facility, any store that accepts food stamps will have to double the amount of whole food that is now available to recipients. So that will change the marketplace around the world, around the country. We're going to make sure that every American family that affordable whole food is available to them at prices that they can afford.
Yeah. Secretary, this is so important. So many people are listening to you on every word, and I'm so...
So I don't know how you're going to at the corner store where they accept SNAP for like SNAP eligible items. How's the guy at my corner store going to double the amount of tomatoes that he doesn't sell? He can't. This is someone
to figure out, Dave.
This is some unenforceable shit. What I think the goal here, if they're trying to, I don't think they can enforce this. I think he's just like spouting out some bullshit that he's not going to do, right? But the effect of this would actually be so that poor people wouldn't really be able to use their SNAP benefits, because a lot of places, even like where I live, it's a food desert in a different way, because the only grocery store around the way is like way overpriced and bougie for the people further up the hill. But there's people who live in parts of Oakland, like parts of West Oakland, where you got to go pretty far to get to like a grocery store. So you get your kind of day-to-day needs or whatever at the corner store. And so you use SNAP for that. Now that corner store, what do they have to fucking start stocking broccoli? I don't know. I think this is bullshit. I think this is all a lie.
I'm stocking broccoli.
Stocking broccoli. Well, I guess that's the end of the podcast part of the show.
Stocking broccoli.
I would ask you to read out the show, but I don't think you've been on this show since last year when you had to take it over. So I think I'll go ahead and read the show out.
Yes, please, thank you.
All right, everybody, thanks for checking out the podcast portion of the show. We're going to go into red light, so if you're watching live, obviously stick around. If you are listening on the podcast, head on over to eplex.store or patreon.com/echoplex. You can get the whole thing sent to you. I would lie and say tomorrow morning, but it would be tomorrow afternoon, evening. And I don't know, you should check it out live sometime. That would be Echoplex Media on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Echoplex Media. And if you're watching live, just kick it. I'm going to change the color of my lights. The media wench has already changed the color of her lights. I'm going to change the contents of my beverage. I think the media wench is already drinking wine. And we're going to go into red light. What we got is we got something kind of great to start off with, but then we got Kat Kerr talking about controlling the weather because nothing ever changes. We got Matt Walsh talking about destruction of fun American neighborhoods, and we got a Happy New Year's message from Candace Owens. Some global politics information from little Nikki Fuentes. And Nikki Fuentes is getting mad at everybody, and he said he might just join the Jews, actually, which I don't know. Maybe they'll let him in. They welcome converts, I suppose. And Alex Jones on the real reason for action in Venezuela. Then we got Andrew Yang with a New Year's message of hope and, I don't know, mediocrity. And then Constantine and Non Oliver over at Trigonometry did an emergency podcast about Venezuela. This is Boomers by Periscope, and I'll see everybody in just a couple minutes.
The world's broke. Go check out Woke.